Hi, step one is to find a sponsored role in the UK. I'm going to show you a method of doing this. Let's have a look. You go to Indeed.com. Now on Indeed, if you go to the advanced job search, you can type in tier 2 sponsorships. So I've done that here, and then if you click on find jobs, then that will return results. So this has actually returned 4,701 jobs. So the key point is some roles in the UK are sponsored, some aren't. In order for a company in the UK to sponsor you for a work visa, they need to have a sponsor license. So this actually helps filter out those who don't. So let me just give you an example. If we click on this second one, this is a senior net developer. If we scroll down to see where it's picked up this keyword, it says 5 years experience required, and let's just have a look. Yeah, it says this company are able, it's a grammatical error on their part, to provide tier 2 sponsorship. So if you tick the boxes for this role, then please feel free to get in touch and apply. So that indicates to you then that you can apply for that role, and it's not going to be a waste of your time. Now, of course, using Indeed.com, you can also type in other things, like let's just say you're an IT developer. If I put in developer, then I'll get a narrow range of roles. In fact, there's only 21 roles, so that's really interesting. Now, I'm not suggesting that tier 2 sponsorship will capture everyone. You might be able to find some other keywords, but by going to the advanced job search and then using this exact phrase field, tier 2 sponsorship will get a good deal of them. Let me know in the comments below if you find any even more pertinent keywords. So if we go down, next one is application developer. Let's just see where this is picked up. Tier 2 sponsorship. Yeah, it says, look, this role is open to tier 2 sponsorship. So that's step one. Basically, you can use Indeed to find roles, and of course you then need to apply it. Maybe you need to upskill or reskill yourself in order to secure a role in the UK. Unless they're shortage occupation roles, then they'll still have to go through a advertising process for considering other candidates in the UK. But that's how one way of going about it. Now, step 2. Let's just go back to the screen. Step 2 is going to the immigration rules and Appendix J and the Code of Practice for Skilled Work. Now, this will just help you confirm that the role you found is actually a qualifying role. And you can see here, for example, table 4, occupations which are ineligible for sponsorship in tier 2 general and tier 2 intra-company transfer applications. I'll talk about intra-company transfer in a minute. But if you click on table 2, for example, then you can just check whether this role is an eligible one. And there's a great deal of them here. I won't go through these, but civil engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, design and development engineers, and it goes on. So that is step 2, because you need to be satisfied, although the employer, of course, will need to be satisfied. You don't want to second guess this. You need to be satisfied that this role falls within one of the qualifying roles that they can actually sponsor you for. And employers do get this wrong from time to time. The other, perhaps a really important thing, is that sometimes you can have more than one standard occupational code that covers your job. It might be that it falls within 2 different codes, and then you'll need to speak about your employer just to make sure that, look, when they're submitting their certificate of sponsorship, that they are using the correct code, just to make sure everyone is on the same page. It is the sponsor's responsibility, but you should just have that discussion with them. Now, the next step is to check what the minimum payment is, and to make sure that you will be paid the minimum amount for the purposes of the visa rules. So here, I hope you can see this. I'm just doing a live stream, so hopefully, yeah, I think you can see this. you'll see the rates of pay, and this is the relevant guidance. I'll drop a link below. But the appropriate rate for Tier 2 General, paragraph 26.1, unless an exception applies, the minimum salary is whichever is the higher of 30,000 per year, or the appropriate rate for the job as listed in Appendix J to the immigration rules, which I just showed you. So make sure that you're going to be paid the minimum rate, and that they don't unwittingly pay you less than that. And again, that goes back to the SOC code, because it might be that your job falls within potentially two different SOC codes, and they've got two different minimum rates. So bear that in mind. So that's the next step. Step 4. Step 5 is checking that the Tier 2 and Tier 5 register of sponsors actually includes your prospective employer. Now, it should do, because if on Indeed.com they're advertising it on the basis that they'll consider non-EEA candidates, and they're highlighting Tier 2, then usually, well, one would expect they would be. But double check it, because sometimes people have their licenses revoked or suspended for whatever reason. Now, the way you do this is an enormous document. It's a PDF here. And you can see how many Tier 2 and 5 sponsors there are. This is actually chopped down quite drastically, as particularly at the moment there's a compliance drive. And I attended a Home Office talk last year where they were saying that there was something like 12 a day. This is a Home Office representative was saying there was something like 12 a day being taken off the register. Now, I don't know if that was just for a short period, but there was definitely a compliance push, and that's ongoing. And you can actually see, if you go to the Tier 2 and 5 guidance, there's this addendum at the front which basically says when a sponsor is granted a license, significant trust is placed in them, quite rightly. With this trust comes direct responsibility to act in accordance with the immigration rules. It's a wider responsibility to behave in a manner that's consistent with our fundamental values and is not detrimental to the public good. It's a privilege, not a right. And that just reflects all the case law that's been developed over the previous months and years. But it's easy to lose a sponsor license. You want to make sure you're with a respectable company that isn't going to, is very unlikely to lose its license, which would result in your leave being curtailed over the next 5-year period if you're going to be with them for 5 years. And it does take 5 years under tier 2 General to get to the point where you can apply for indefinite leave to remain. So those are 5 steps that you can take. I hope that's helpful. The other point I promised to address is intra-company transfers. Now, a Tier 2 intra-company transfer does not lead to settlement in the UK. So bear that in mind. Tier 2 General does, but the Tier 2 intra-company transfer doesn't require the role to be advertised, because you're engaged by the foreign entity and effectively seconded in terms to the UK company. But that's a crucial difference. It may be that you're looking at this video because you're thinking about settling in the UK, and you're looking for a sponsored role. I imagine that is why you will have clicked on the thumbnail. So that may not be relevant to you, but do bear that in mind. That does not lead to settlement. And I wish you the best of luck in your search for a job role in the UK. If you're interested in any other immigration routes, I am doing a lot of applications at the moment for startup and innovative visa applicants. I'd be pleased to assist you. Do drop a comment below, and feel free to subscribe. I'm going to be producing more videos on this subject of how to secure work visas and Tier 2 sponsorship. Many thanks, and bye for now.